Ode to Evening by William Collins. Ode to Evening is one among the most enduring poems of William Collins. It is a beautiful poem of 52 lines addressed to a goddess figure representing evening. This nymph or maid who personifies dusk is chaste, reserved, and meek, in contrast to the bright haired sun, a male figure who withdraws into his tent, making way for night. Thus, evening is presented as the transition between light and darkness. Now, let us begin with the explanation of the poem Ode to Evening. If aught of autumn stop or pastoral song may hope chaste eve to soothe thy modest ear. In this poem, the poet writes about the time of the evening, which he has personified as Eve. It might also refer to the goddess of evening, Hesperides. He says to her that if one day she comes to realize that the autumn songs or the rural melodies have ceased, autumn being the archaic word for a musical pipe crafted out of straw. Then he hopes to the unwed Eve to be able to comfort her virgin years by singing a song to her. Like thy own solemn springs, thy springs and dying gales. In the following lines, the spring is used in a sense of engendering, like water comes out of a fountain. The other time, it is used as a reference to the season of spring, a season in which rustic old things die. Likewise, the poet refers to the winds which die. This means that in the time of the evening, like her sadness, emanate dying tempests and season of cessation of all life and activity. O nymph reserved, while now the bright haired sun sits in yon western tent, whose cloudy skirts with brede ethereal wove overhang his wavy bed. The writer is calling out to the shy nymph. According to mythology, a nymph is a nubile young maiden or a virgin of any age. The poet uses a lot of imagery here. The time is for the sun to set, who is personified as a man wearing a cloudy skirt, a skirt made of elegant, exquisite interlace of clouds. The skirt is ethereal because even a moderately strong gust of wind can immediately cleave it in two. Yet a calm surrounding prevails. This skirt hangs over the sea, which forms the wavy bed where the sun might seem to set in a distance. Now air is hushed, save where the weak-eyed bat, with short shrill shriek, flits by on leathern wing, or where the beetle winds his small but sullen horn, as oft he rises midst the twilight path against the pilgrim, borne in heedless hum. In Eve's time, when the atmosphere has turned quiescent almost everywhere, there is still bustling where the nocturnal bat swoops down with a shrill noise, or the beetle is active. Sullen horn is the chirping of beetle, which sounds like an irritated trumpet. The beetle repeatedly rises in the middle of the night, walking against the pilgrim, who is consumed in the heedless hum. Here, heedless hum could mean one of the two things. The first being the bat, who is considered the pilgrim, and his shrill voice being termed as a hum. The second possibility is that the pilgrim is a traveler who is consumed in his own careless musings and it takes the form of a hum. Now teach me, maid composed, to breathe some softened strain, whose numbers stealing through thy darkening veil may not unseemly with its stillness soothe. As musing slow, I hail thy genial love return. The poet wants to learn how to serenade softened strain from the relaxed maiden. Softened strain means mellow melodies, for he notices the music disappearing from the valleys. He says that if Eve teaches him her strains, his songs won't look out of place and match befittingly with the tranquility in the valleys of Eve. All of this, he says, while being absorbed in his thoughtlessness as he welcomes her cheerful, loved reappearance.